And we
Okay.
also have the man of the moment, as I've mentioned earlier, known as Pablo S.A, live with us on the lines this very moment. Pablo, do you want to say hello to the listeners out there?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Glad to have you with us on the lines, Pablo. So, I'm going to do
Yeah.
a quick bio about Pablo S.A., whose real name is also known as Papi Lucky van Wyk. He began his
Yeah.
career in 2016 as a DJ with an Afro house crew called Afro Drummers. In 2017, he ventured into music production and released his first two singles titled Takala as well as Flesh and Flames. These singles were included in Lebza's The Villain's Top 5 Best Afro House Tracks. Pablo S.A has collaborated with a number of underground producers and vocalists including Gate Music, Talk Music, Sylvia, Afro Exotic, African Drum Boys, and various other people out there. And he's also shared the stage with Prince KB, Tahir Jones, Cairo, Toshi, and Lebza the Villain. And that is a basic bio about Pablo S.A, who is currently with us on the lines. So, how are you doing, Pablo?
I'm okay. And you?
I'm good, thanks. Glad to have you with us on South Coast Radio. So,
Thank you for having me.
awesome. So, Pablo,
Yeah.
based on early career and influences, you started your career as a DJ with the Afro House crew Afro Drummers. What initially
Yes.
drew you to Afro House music?
Well, I used to listen to a show called Hot 99 on a radio show, YFM.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, so every Friday I'll listen to the show. Uh, each and every Friday, the show was playing 4 times a week. So I fell in love with the sound, and I decided to dig deeper about the sound and know more. Till I started to fall in love with everything about it. I attend events where the house is being played a lot. That's when I started to be influenced by the sound, and I wanted to do my own music and project.
That's great stuff, Pablo. And so, what was the experience like transitioning from DJing to music production?
Well, I started doing music production before DJing.
Uh huh.
Every time when I'm done producing a project or a track,
Uh huh.
I used to share it with house DJs, the guys that were playing the big clubs, and I'd wait for their feedback on how the crowd reacted to my sounds and everything. So not every time you get a positive feedback.
True.
Sometimes I think that the guys are lying to me, so I had to make a plan to learn to DJ or present my work to people as the producer behind it.
That's great stuff, Pablo. So, based on production and collaborations, your first two singles, which was Takala and Flesh and Flames, were included in Lebza the Villain's top 5 best Afro House tracks. How did that
Yes.
recognition impact your career?
Takala and Fashion Place were my first project to be recognized. Uh, when being recognized by someone you look up to, it's amazing. It boosts my confidence and my reputation. To even want to do more solution, it helps you to get more collaborators and more artists and producers. Also, viewers. I think it's improved.
That's awesome, Pablo. And so you've collaborated with a lot of underground producers and vocalists. How do these collaborations influence your creative process?
I collaborated with a lot of underground creatives. I learned a lot from them. One of the guys I worked with, he used to tell me that the more minds you can bring together under a common, the more productive and efficient your creative process can come as well. A well organized team can get better content faster.
Wow, that's great stuff, Pablo. And also, you've also shared the stage with big names like Prince KB and Lebza the Villain. What are some of the
Yeah.
most valuable lessons you've learned from these experienced DJs and producers?
Well, each and every young and upcoming DJs or producer still needs to share stage with their idols or people they look up to.
True.
I've learned a lot. I'm still learning. Firstly, as a creative or a producer, you don't have to confuse what you like and with what you actually skillful at. The second one is that we all have our own unique style. I knew I was influenced by my favorite artist and DJ. So it might take time. Oh, I think it might take time. It might take time to find my style, but when I did, I always try to bring my content forward as much as possible. And lastly, I have to believe in myself.
True.
I don't take criticism. I don't take criticism too personally, but I try to gain as much feedback and advice as possible.
That's awesome, Pablo. And so, based on musical style and inspiration, your quote mentions you desire to introduce new sounds on each track. How do you keep your sound fresh and innovative?
You know, as music producers, we have different ways to keep our sound fresh and innovative.
Yeah.
So I normally listen to music I don't normally listen to for inspiration. I always try to challenge myself. I take a song I love and make a cover track. Along the way, I pick up fantastic ideas along with helpful info, songwriting and production.
Great stuff, Pablo.
Yes.
So also, where aside from YFM, as you mentioned before, that you've listened to and you used to enjoy, which used to be on Fridays and stuff, the session that you used to listen to, aside from that as well, where else do you typically find inspiration for your music from?
I normally find my music inspiration in listening to other artists. It helps to better my work, especially if I'm listening to something amazing, such as listening to different genres, traveling, attending nightclubs, nature, and random sound as well. They're also part of my inspiration.
That's awesome, Pablo. And so, based on future projects, so you're about to release a new project called Breaking Protocol. Can you tell us a bit about the sound and inspiration behind this project?
Well, Breaking Protocol will be my second drop this year. It includes two tracks, beautiful tracks, Breaking Protocol itself, with that harsh and hard kick and percussion distracting the crowd with heavy element. The song is for your soul. I think it will mostly be played by DJs because it's a groovy song. The second track on the EP, it's called Massive Dance, where I worked with the producer called Dakot from Devon.
Okay.
It served that crispy sway elementary like no other, uniquely blended instrument, having a nice meaning.
That's great stuff, Pablo. And so also, what are your long-term goals as a DJ and music producer?
Uh, my long-term goal as a DJ and music producer is it's improving my production skills, network with industry profession for advice and encouragement, and releasing at least number of tracks. Tackle my artistic and performance sphere. So it's not that easy each and every time you in the crowd.
Yeah.
And post on my social daily. Create income streams and get at least 1% better every day. That's my long-term goal. It's growing each and every time I work.
Yeah. Awesome, Pablo. I got a bonus question for you. What advice would you give other aspiring DJs and producers out there? Upcoming DJs and producers.
I think is to keep on working. And I think believe in your heart. Don't take everything people say personally. Gain as much feedback and advice as possible to put yourself and your brain to the next level.
Awesome, Pablo. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was our interview session with our man of the moment, Pablo S.A. And we do have some songs of his also we're going to be playing in a moment. Pablo, is there anything else you want to say to the listeners? Perhaps a shout out to anyone listening in?
I'd like to say that you're listening now, and everyone who's been following me since the start, since I started doing music, and my mom, she's also listening. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome, Pablo. Thank you once again for being with us live on South Coast Radio. We appreciate your presence with us out here. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Pablo S.A. with us this very moment right now.
The radio station you can't live without. This is your radio.
This is South Coast Radio.